Hi, everyone, and welcome to Truth Be Told. Let's get started. What's going on? Aries to Pisces around the world. Here we go. Aries and timestampers, thank you. Stick around for the collective as well. All right, Aries. Look at this. You come up in your own read, right? And what are you saying? You're saying, oh my gosh, I have realized how much you mean to me. My feelings are worthy. My intuition is telling me, honestly, Aries, your intuition is on point with a relationship and how much and how deep your love runs. Your love runs deep. And you're going to express that to someone who makes you feel like you can be yourself, right? Okay. The stars are all aligning for a relationship to escalate into a deep commitment for whomever this resonates with, right? It is a general. It's been written. It has been written. As above, so below. As above, so below. Correct? Some of you are getting ready to go within the next 2 months, right? It is summer. Some of you enjoy fishing. You're reading up about, oh, this is funny. Some of you are getting those fish finders or whatever they're called to help you to, to get a fish. Some of you are reading up about locations, where to go to fish. Some of you are feeling like a fish out of water because you're engrossed in a relationship that you're like, I don't know how this happened, but this is for real. Okay. Through like thick and thin, this is real. Okay. B and or J could be the name of a location, a person, place, or thing. Okay? Balancing emotional balance. Someone's now feeling very balanced emotionally. If this was something that was not expressed, it will be. Like, finally, someone's going to express themselves emotionally to another who they really feel is their soul connect. If this is a father in heaven, this is being guided by either the masculine and or the feminine's father in heaven rising above. Someone has risen, right? Meaning emotionally, an emotional availability, being available emotionally. Maybe, at one time, Aries, emotionally you were not feeling these feelings for someone, and now it's like you're realizing how much someone really means to you, right? Water, going by water, feeling free in Mother Earth, and maybe when you're by water, you feel that sense of freedom. You feel a sense also that you're able to express yourself now, whereas before I think you were uncertain and or keeping it to yourself. It has been written, and it will be said. It's just, maybe within the next couple months, right? Finally, someone realizes how truly they feel about you, and vice versa. Okay. That was beautiful. You know, Mercury is out of retrograde. So things are now really taking, you know, leaps and bounds of action and of new things happening in our lives, you know? All right, Taurus. And we need those, you know, we need those retrogrades in order to appreciate that freedom that it gives us once we revisit stuff, and in hindsight we look at things differently, and or we're ready to like say, okay, we're done, or let's revisit it, right? Okay, Taurus. So what's it going to be? Are we looking at a relationship with closed eyes and closed heart? Is this relationship, is this lover's relationship just not happening? Have you looked deep within someone's essence in order to establish, right? Have you gone deep within your own essence, right? Is this issue about your inner workings, or is it about another's inner workings? Like, how do we distinguish between what we know to be true and what we may feel we know to be true? If we're not feeling a relationship emotionally, you know, just knowing it's not going to work, right? This is knowing it's not working, and you've tried over and over again to balance out the scales. Like, someone's definitely on a higher playing field than someone else, right? It could be, I mean, you know, we're not going to lie, it could be a relationship that was just purely physical, and then it exhausted its time. It's expired. The time has expired. It's like, it's kind of like that balloon that just loses its air. As quick as it came, it's leaving also. It was a chess game. It was like someone had to, I feel in chess, you know, who became the pawn? Someone became, right, the pawn in the game of chess. And you knew it was going to happen. If it's not about you, it is about someone who is near and dear to your heart. Interesting that the moon here, so this could be for Taurus moons, but the moon is up here, and then the moon is down here with the sun. So, and then we have the rising of the light. So as something ends, of course, it will lift you up, as far as once you release, you know that intuitive knowing that this is going to be the best thing for you. Okay? So that's, you may not see that right now, but you will. It takes time for relationships to either unfold, you know, in the way, I mean, it's not whichever way it unfolds. It is, Taurus, about spirit showing you the way forward, and this relationship that you've been in, or whatever that you're dealing with right now, it's probably a relationship that's, you already knew didn't have the longevity to sustain. Okay, Gemini. So we wished upon a star and we broke free from others' expectations of us. We've decided to go our own way, so to speak. I'm hearing that song, right? Is it Fleetwood Mac, You Can Go Your Own Way? Totally that song, where it's like, I'm doing my own thing. I'm doing my own thing. You're the star of your own show. You're taking your life to a new plateau of authenticity where no one gets in your way. Whomever shares or doesn't share with you, that's fine. And if we're not on the same page, we're not on the same page. But you are feeling like the star of your own show. You're in charge. I mean, I love this. I really love this, because whatever you've wished for, Gemini, you're going to get. And you're so deserving of it. You truly are. This is massive emotional contentment, because once you have mastered your own terrain and no other outside influences or opinions or judgments of you matter, that all gets released when you become your highest self. You're your own boss. Some of you have wished upon the stars to take you and show you the way, and you've let go of how you felt it should look and or feel, and you just went with it. And when that happens, we know that things happen exactly how they are meant to happen, where all the stars align, and we're like, okay, maybe you didn't see a couple things happen here, but you got out of your own way. How beautiful is that? You got out of your own way and not allowing anyone to make those decisions for you. You have spoken up. The Blue Jays, they speak their truth. I mean, that's why you hear them so clearly. So you've spoken your truth. You are your truth. And no one's going to change your mind, because that's their projection of the way they have their own insecurities, right? Okay. I love that, Gemini. Good for you. Seriously. Okay. Cancers. 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 So you're getting ready perhaps to start something new, right? Something that you love to do, and you're not really certain about where it's going to lead in terms of, well, is it going to be prosperous? Is it going, am I going to get it right? I heard. Are you going to get it right? Of course you're going to get it right, because your heart is in it to win it, right? And you have that drive, that passion that one needs. If there's a financial hold or pause that needs to take place, maybe you're uncertain about how much something's going to cost. How much do you have to put down? How much time is it going to take? What's going on here? Are we not grounded? Are we just kind of, for some, are you just flying off the seat of your pants, right? And sometimes that works, but if it is something crucial to affect your money sector, you want to also make sure that you are getting very grounded and knowing what it is. Like, how is the prototype going to look? How is the artistic value going to look? How am I going to, right, give and or receive of that which I love? Is this someone, right, Cancers, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, that you have great compassion and love for, but they're not fully invested. someone's not fully invested here. So we have to make sure that if you are Cancer, that you may or may not be with a person fully invested, or is it your financial sector that you must fully invest in before you start something new? Is it a new love? Did you release, someone who wasn't as grounded or needing, that attention, or not being on the same page with you financially or what have you? So, we have to look at our new beginnings as such. Look at them as new. And if this is not an external person to you, then realize that we also need to invest in ourselves before we can invest in others. So make sure that you can get this king upright before a start of, we have here the love, and we have the action, right? And when we have the action, we also need to make sure that it is a giving and receiving of love and or time, effort, etc. Okay? So that's what you want to ensure, moving forward, especially when you have two aces there, Cancers. So if you need to get more grounded, go out in Mother Earth. If you need to put more work in something, then do so, right? Don't necessarily just wing it. It's not a bad thing to wing it, but when you have that king in reverse, I wouldn't financially wing anything. I would put everything, I would make sure that we have the analysis that we need, right? Okay. If that's the case. Okay. Leo. Leos. So, Leos, who are you listening to? And why are we allowing, are we dropping or allowing people that are not worthy of our time, energy, emotional connect? I mean, are you trying, or is someone trying to one-up you? Are they just telling you what you want to hear? Is it someone that you've had, an emotional connect with, and you're like, well, what they're saying or maybe what they're saying and how they feel are two different things, right? He's a mischief maker, right? He's perhaps telling you what you want to hear, or, I mean, he gained that feather in his cap for a reason. Why? Because he knows how to talk to people. He knows how to gain leverage by telling you what you want to hear, perhaps. Someone feels that, they're the one, or you are feeling you're the one that gains leverage by implementing your own ideas, and not, for some, not listening to others, especially because maybe in the past when you did listen to others, it caused havoc in your life, right? And so now you're like really mentally aware and needing to be clear about if someone is pulling the wool over your eyes or trying to get away with something, you need to really be aware of this individual, right? Is it someone external to you? Or is it the thoughts that drive you to do the things that you do that don't make you happy? Are your own thoughts getting in your own way, right? About others, about the things that emotionally are draining you. It's the way you think. It's your mindset. Some of you have to emotionally get more involved instead of just looking at it from a, you know, from a perspective of just like this mental manipulation. This is mental manipulation. And emotionally, you're not even in it. So what is this? I'm gonna get one card from the vice versa deck on this for you guys. See, look at, it's about changing your perspective here, Leos. You have to change how you think in order for your emotions, your heart center to be on the same page. It's not on the same page. So change what you need to take your time and allow yourself the time to flip the switch about what you say to yourself and how you say it. People are watching. People are watching. People are watching, waiting, and wondering when it'll be time for you to flip the switch and be emotionally available. You're probably not, for some, you're not even telling anyone. It's kind of like kept in the backdrop, right? In the night, in the day and the night, you're just like constantly adhering to what others want to hear instead of what you truly feel is going to level you up and rise you and get you out of this holding pattern. Some of you are in a holding pattern. Some of you, your hands are tied. It's like you want, for some of you, you really want to say something to others, but I don't know. It's like dare to go there. Your hands are tied in a situation, maybe between, you know, two people or three people, or you're having just this really hard time letting certain people also, like, if you say this, then they'll be gone. So you're choosing to hold off, which is a good thing. Just pause for a minute, hold off, because this could be something that you want to say or have said that was detrimental to relationships and friendships, etc. You know, sometimes, right, what do we say? We put our foot in our mouth. You're putting your own perspective. You need to change it, the way that maybe you see something that others are doing and or about. It will help you to release you from those binding, reoccurring mental anguish. It's like that the record player, you know, just going over and over the same old ground. Why? And what is it about? Change your perspective about how you see it. Don't look at it in the same way. And this could affect you with like groups of people. Virgo. Virgo, you have a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here at a distance that is like maybe you're dealing with a masculine Gemini and or feminine Gemini, Libra, Aquarius who's leaving. And are you happy about it? It looks like someone's leaving and you're happy that they're leaving. You're like, right? C'est la vie. What shall be will be, right? Someone at a distance is okay, so you have this polarity of great happiness and joy and a celebration, and then this, you know, waiting and wondering like when your ship's going to come in. But between the two polarities of emotions, being one, is it anticipation in great happiness, or is it, I don't know how I really feel about this. I don't know. Am I happy about someone who is leaving or coming to see you? And you're like, I'm not sure if this is a good idea, right? Some of you are just drinking your sorrows of someone who has left and has put you in a very precarious position. Someone has had many ships coming in, right? What is that? Right? Someone in every port. Someone does have that. Maybe this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius has a person in every port, right? And goes and takes off whenever they want, right? So this person is not making you happy, right? So what are you going to do about it? Okay, let's look at the King of Swords. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Yes, someone definitely has or wants to have, I think does have, someone in every port. Like maybe someone travels for work and they have different females or males waiting for them, right? What does that tell you? Someone's looking at other options. I feel it's emotional. I feel someone's so disconnected emotionally and mentally that they just search to gain self-confidence. They're a little arrogant for sure because this is really egoic, very egoic. A Gemini, Libra, Aquarius could be your moon and or rising sign, but someone's very egoic and has someone in every port. And, you know, it's like a new day, a new celebration. And that's how they live. Wow. Someone may be juggling you with, you know, all these people, you know. Maybe they don't literally physically go from port to port, but I feel that for the majority, this is someone who does do that. But if it's not, it's someone who's looking around at other options and always keeps their options open. I mean, really and truly, do you literally, can you relate to someone who keeps their options open, right? And even some of those options I'm hearing, Virgo, are like past people in your life that sometimes you can't let go of, right? And maybe you and or they have been let go, but you seem to replace them with the same dynamic or same type of personality traits, etc., in a different suit. Got it? Okay, that was rough. Sorry, Virgo. Libra. Libra. Oh my God, look at this. Is it true love? Why am I having internal conflict? Whose conflicts are these? Are these the naysayers? Are these the outsiders who looking in at a relationship that's solid? Emotionally, great passion, emotional. This is a past life relationship, a soul connect. That others are what? Are they jealous? Are they talking behind your back? All right, what's going on here, Libra? Are you and or someone that you're truly connected with having a little bout of, who needs to change their behavior here? Does someone need to change their behavior? Let me get a card for this. 5 of Wands. Look at that. We need to look at ourselves and start really just going forward. In order to drop this, we need to just let bygones be bygones and move forward in the way that you choose. These are things, these are issues that we're not able to sustain. These are past issues that are coming perhaps back out to the forefront in order to be addressed. The 5 and the ace becomes a 6, right? So we need to balance. We need to have, for sure, an energetic force of balance, right? The yin and the yang. You're on the same vibration as I am. And that's where this is. There's a disconnect here with two people that are totally meant for one another. But when we disconnect energetically from someone, it's not because of anything else except, okay, we need to really go within and take, like, are we taking responsibility for our actions, or let's not take responsibility for someone else's behaviors when it's not ours to take. It's not. If someone's having internal issues or people are, you know, putting their 2 cents in, or people are, you know, really showing up in a different way, then this is, you know, take notice, right? Do you notice how some people change, or this person, this soul connect, changes with maybe at the drop of a hat? Maybe their actions are one minute they're this way and the next minute they're that way. And not in a bipolar sense, but in a sense of, okay, well, you're showing me one thing, but you're also not accepting my actions. So are your actions affecting those of your person, and why? Why are we not in a balanced frame of taking action? And yeah, I agree, we should do it. This is how we should do it. Or I disagree, but I'll compromise, or some kind of balance here is needed. In order for this to turn around, some balance is needed. Someone's actions have to change in order for newness to become truly connected. Does that make sense? For others, I mean, it could be, right, this is true love and this is just the physical, and there's the, right, the external is taking over. Is it? The external takes over the internal in terms of, well, they really look good on paper, but are they truly my connect here? Maybe that's the cause of not only balance, but is it the cause of contention within two people, where one sees the relationship very externally driven and the other sees the relationship very internally, emotionally content. So that could be a little of that disconnect, that we're not vibing on the same wavelength, right? The relationship needs to grow, and in order for it to grow, these issues that are coming to the surface need to be panned out in order to gain the within and without connect. I hope that made sense. This is like something you've always wanted and wished for in relationships. And then, you know, they don't just come without issues, for sure. But how do we take care of these issues? How do we act upon these issues is the true nature of your own truth. you know, going forward. Something has to change. Scorpio. We got 4 cards for Scorpio. Let's see what's happening. So how are we going to, right? How are we going to go forward? How can we go forward the way that we choose to go forward when we don't feel like we're settled? I feel, Scorpio, some of you are very unsettled in your heart space, right? Your emotions are a little disconnected because you don't have what? Enough money. You're not manifesting enough money. You're still in this your 10 of Swords moment, which is, you know, the last of your mental anguish is here, but it's still, this is driving these two away. Do you understand? And this is how you're feeling, right? You're feeling emotionally like, you know, I'm still in that, I don't want to have to go through this again. So this isn't going to manifest until you get rid of what's really emotionally bugging you. And I feel like it's your past wounds that come up, and they do for us all. It's not unlike our past emotional and or the people that, you know, have hurt us, but it's affecting your moving forward and making, you know, making money and getting more grounded as to how you're going to go about manifesting what it is that you seek and how much time you want to put in it. Maybe you don't want to put in your time and energy and focusing in on just a job versus I just want to be happy here. But you're not, because you're still holding on to all of, maybe it's not even people that backstabbed you, you know, Scorpio. It's maybe this is the emotional disconnect because you don't, you know, you don't want to put in all this time and work, right? Maybe some of you are on the precipice of retiring and you just like, oh gosh, I don't want to have to start all over again. And emotionally, you know, that's draining. Is our resources draining? You know, what money comes in goes out. That too has a huge implication on these cards are telling a huge story of you must release the things in your past. And if things are not entirely working the way you want, and if you want to quit your job, if you want to stop working, and that will make you happy, then do that. But, you know, that is going to come with your own series of conflicts, compromises of what you can and can't do in life. We know that, right? Retirement doesn't mean that you have to be unhappy about it. It means, what do you do next with that? If that is what you're feeling, but you are feeling really disconnected in terms of how much you make, what you deserve, what you want, where you've been, and why you're emotionally, you know, I think mentally more than emotionally, but they're both upright, right? So your mental and emotional, you know, health is imperative to purify. We need to purify where this is impeding your progress. This could be an external manipulator. I mean, we're not going to lie. Someone who externally manipulates the terrain to get their own way, right? But it's still not working because, you know, we're not feeling it. You're not at the Ten of Pentacles, right? And when it's reversed, it's about your worth and value in terms of mental and emotional connect. So there's a disconnect emotionally and mentally with maybe what you do for a living, Scorpio, and how you do it, and who you work together with, the people that you've allowed in your life, and the people you have extracted in your life. That all makes a difference with why you're not able to manifest what it is that you want to manifest. And that could be just, hey, I don't want to deal with anything financially anymore. I want to be my own boss, what have you. But there needs to come a time where mentally and emotionally there's no disconnect. And right now, these are the two issues that really are impeding your progress. Saggies. Okay, so we're getting out of our own way here by not letting others influence, right? You could be the influencer of, and for others, emotionally, mentally here, by letting go of the people, places, and things that no longer serve you, your highest good. Easy to see that you have elevated to the point where you're not going to let your emotions and your mental health be impeded by others, unlike what Scorpio was dealing with. So Scorpio may have some influence on, or you, I'm sorry, I digress. You, Saggies, could have a huge influence on those Scorpions that are going through the release of this, because they're not releasing it. They're keeping it, right? They're holding it with, you know, like a safety blanket, right? Where you have released all that because you want to be independently so and desiring emotional and mental contentment. And you're not going to let others influencing you otherwise. Okay? So you're releasing all that, whereas you will influence. If you are a cusper, then you will start seeing changes being made. As long as you can truly come out of your own shell in terms of what you are holding very tightly. So Saggies, you're holding what? Are you disclosing everything you feel and or think? Are you looking out into the near distant future, wondering how and what you have learned will influence your own self and others? I love that, really. I feel within the next 2 months, people are going to see Saggies really coming out and showing themselves as their true selves, emotionally and mentally. If there were any mental anguish that was caused by past hurts and pain of your past, you know, or secrets that weren't revealed, maybe for some, it's best not to know, right? Sometimes it is, Saggies, best not to know the influencing and or what influences others have, or others' secrets, right? Sometimes it's best not to know. If it's your own secret, then you are keeping it to yourself. And I feel that the secret is not a bad thing. I feel the secret is that you've come to terms with who you allow in your emotional, mental health, for your emotional and mental health, welfare, right? Okay, Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. Let's see what's happening. Okay, Capricorn. When we get to a place where we know what we need to do and how we need to charge forth in our lives, we need to keep our boundaries in place. We need to make sure that when we're moving forward in life and we're feeling really good, that these people are not allowed in our sphere of trying to, right, get the best of us and or whatever. So some of you are defending your turf. No reason not to. You know, it sets the bar to a higher standard, to a higher frequency, so that people know that, you know, listen, I will show you like my love and emotions about how I know thyself. I've heard that. I know that thyself, which means you know where your boundaries lie, whom you will or will not allow in your circle of trust, so to speak, right? Some of you are guarding whatever that is, right? You're guarding what needs to be guarded, whether that's your family, whether that's a love situation, right? You have leveled up on so many, in so many ways of what you value to be very important, near and dear to your heart, and you're not going to waver. Hallelujah. This is great. You've seen the light of a new day. You know who to trust and who you don't trust. You know who you need to be guarded with and or from. The actions of others speak louder than words. If there is a masculine who is a father-son connect here, it is about moving forward in a way that now we know where we stand with one another, and we can move forward, even though it seems like the child could be a little more guarded. Not so much the dad. Orange is, right? Orange is peach. Peaches, oranges, you know, maybe for some it's good not only to eat, but, you know, you're getting your vitamin C in, etc. I feel vitamin C is important. Drinking your water is important. I also see that that you're going to charge ahead with what you do, what you love to do, and who you love, charging forward and keeping people at bay. I mean, that's where you gain your respect, Capricorn. You gain respect from others when you defend your rights, your boundaries. You know, you draw that line in the sand. People don't know how effective and powerful that is in one's life. I mean, come on. Okay, Aquarius. This wanted to jump out. Let's get two more. Okay, Aquarius. So, like, your truth be told is you're self-sabotaging everything from whom you love and or loved. Aquarius. self-sabotage is holding you down, your thoughts, your not knowing stuff, your, you know, your future looks bright, maybe with someone who could feasibly be coming in as a new partner or something, but you're blocking it because of what happened in the past. You have been blocking certain things because your headspace is in the past. And when we're mentally, literally in the past frame of mind, you can't possibly create, you know, this stumps your creating. It stumps your ability to see your own self-worth and truth about, you know, maybe a change of mind should and or perspective should be happening here. And this is really impeding your progress in whatever you're looking like ahead. You don't even have that luxury of looking at maybe what's going on right now because you're blinded by these mental thoughts of your past. And it's not giving you or gaining any traction. It's actually impeding your progress. It is a past lover, a past relationship that walked away, left, and you can't let it go. You've got to try and let it go. I realize it is difficult, but you're at the 8. So with maybe give it another 2-3 months, right? I'm not saying that it's not a healing process. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is your mental anguish is taking over how you really truly feel about what has come and gone into your life. I need to take one card for you, Aquarius, because you've been dealing with this for a while. Here it is. Sorry. So this is what Spirit's saying, right? You have this white horse of truth where your truth will set you free. The yin and the yang. So take this mental anguish and put it into some form of your own truth in your life, how things have unfolded, and make that part. Don't make that part of your future, but make it part of your present insofar as, you know, what is the truth of this situation that you may have overlooked. This is a unicorn. So going forward, Spirit's saying you can't go back. You can't go back. Try not to go back to the old ways, to the old thoughts, to the mindset of your past issues. This guy's looking at the past only and not seeing it for what it truly needs to do, and that is to teach you. Teaching you how to move forward, teaching you how to let go. It is, Aquarius, a process, for sure. Pisces. I feel, and I have to say this because I feel that when things are sometimes in the reads for these general reads become, you know, these for some really relate to people who are dealing and going through hardship, and we shouldn't just let those things go or let those readings for certain signs that are having hardships, that are going through dark night of the soul, that are going through, you know, internal struggles and mentally not being able to heal from some wounds, past wounds, we all have the ebbs and flow of energy, right? Where there are times when, you have the air signs that are, that are doing great, or just one water sign or one fire sign. Do you understand that the moon, the cycles of the planetary aspects make a huge difference in within us, because they are within us, all of the stars and the moon and the sun. We are all of that. We are the all. So understand that sometimes it takes place in a certain house where we need to really work on ourselves, right? Don't be discouraged if someone's, Aquarians are going through a bit of a rough patch right now. It's for your benefit, to benefit from the past stuff that we really need to look at and not ignore. And, there were times when it was like Virgos going through a lot. And look at Cancer turned themselves around. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's what you've learned, how we've accepted and taken responsibility for those things that really are near and dear to us. And the only thing that we can really hold on to is whatever love that has touched our hearts. We can't hold on to anything else. So please, don't get discouraged. Tell me your story. Share, comment, whatever. And, tell me if you need me to help you. I'm here for you. I'm serious, because every sign goes through the ebb and flow of, right? So we are changing, ever changing every minute of every day. But sometimes it gets to be where, like I said, the 11th hour and we're like at our wit's end. There's a reason why they say wit's end. Okay, Pisces. So Pisces, let's see what is happening here. We're no longer focusing, you're really focusing on work. What you are is working on yourself, working at a job, really, excuse me, using your energy. For some of you, you're looking on social media at the past person. If someone has left your life, you're like, you know what, I'm out. I'm not even looking back. Some of you are not looking back, but some of you are looking at, why you lost that loving feeling, Pisces, someone could have gone out of your life who gave you that great feeling, but, again, for whatever sign I said in the middle here of, it's the expiration date, right? It's expired. This relationship has expired and has exhausted its sexual, passionate connection. So some of you have lost that loving feeling with someone, and you're either really, I don't know, maybe you're researching or looking at their social media platforms to figure out, or whatever, TikToks, whatever, just to kind of gain some ground, leveling of your emotions, right? Leveling up your emotions. Trying to get just a little hold on what it is that may, you have this little, it's the tiniest of worry or inquisitiveness, if you will, about what someone else is doing. But mainly I see and truly feel that you are now just really working on yourself, working on whatever you're doing at work and or projects, not worried about it, maybe letting it go. burning the midnight oil because you're using the energy that you implemented in a relationship, and now you're burning the midnight oil in work just so that you don't have to think about this stuff, right? Which is not a bad thing. I mean, as long as you're not trying to escape from it, right? And that you are looking, perhaps some of you are looking deep within yourself and what you're made of, right? Like what, I mean, we really do need to only look back for the reasons of taking responsibility for what it's taught you. You know, what have you learned from it? Have you learned from it? Lilies, cherry blossoms are big, of course. It's spring coming into summer. I find that it's interesting, and I say that at the soul level of your consciousness, you have elevated from your crown chakra is red. So the crown chakra is truly, as well as your vest, the vest. So if this was and is about maybe owning up to any anger, any resentments, you're trying to let that go and draw upon what it is that underneath really matters, and that is, you know, your higher consciousness of working on yourself and accepting and taking responsibility for, you know, the past stuff. Maybe some, I'm hearing the things that matter now are not so much someone else's faults or our own, but more importantly, that we stay focused on what we value most in ourselves. There are certain, you know, idiosyncrasies that have maybe played out a huge factor as to why this relationship, you know, couldn't sustain. It wasn't, was it valued enough? Was it not valued enough? Did someone not give you the value that you so desire? Something about a piano, playing piano, soothing the soul, research. Yeah, and definitely, Pisces, some of you are definitely burning the midnight oil. Okay. Let's get a collective karma card for the all. We'll get one. Sometimes all you need, right? We are one. I love it. Saggies. Sagittarius, 9th house of Saggy, depicts our independence. Are we independently understanding how important the importance? Do we understand the importance of how independence really helps value? It results from the wisdom that we've attained. It does result from life experiences, right? It's kind of like the, you know, it's like a rule of thumb where when you're first in a relationship, I'm just going to use relationship here because we have the yin and yang of masculine and feminine here. But seriously, when we're in a relationship, you're in the beginning, it's like, oh my gosh, like we can't spend enough time together. We're going and doing everything together. You probably won't for some in the beginning of a relationship, you need to make sure that, you know, they're always with you, you're meeting your friends, but you have to drag that person along, and you're not dragging them, but you know what I mean, right? And then suddenly, right? Suddenly after like whatever time passes, you know, do you find that you become more independent of needing another's approval, acceptance, time? Can we be in a relationship independently so? Which means you maintain your independence as you grow together. It's not like you're growing apart. It's just two people that are together really need to continue to have that the independence for their own growth, creativity, and, right, let it be known that sometimes when you don't see that person every day, or even if you do, you're independently of, you know, doing something different. Someone's cooking and someone's whatever in another room of the house. That kind of stuff really matters when you can separate yourself a little in order to come back together even stronger. And those actions breed those of the highest, because when we understand that our independence matters, then we can be ourselves. Because when you're constantly, and this is true, just comment, let me know, but how many of us haven't lost our identity through another's wants, needs, desires, because we put ourselves completely, we absorbed ourselves completely in another's energy and lost ourselves. Don't let that happen. If this is something you can relate to, allow someone their own freedom to come and go as they please and to do what it is they need to do, because this breeds trust, loyalty, and another highest form of love is just leaving someone to their own, on their own, you know, not saying that you don't miss that person and that you don't love that person, but it's like, okay, well, are we with each other 24/7? Because that can get on your nerves, right? So where is the strength of your own wisdom required to solidify growth in your relationship as independently so? Let me know. Have a great day.